What if one simple skill, the ability to introduce yourself, could open every door you've ever wanted to walk through? Today, we're going to practice exactly that skill together. And I promise, by the time this lesson ends, you'll feel completely ready to introduce yourself in English with confidence, clarity, and a smile. So stay right here. Because this story is about more than just learning, it's about you. Let me tell you about someone named Marcus. Marcus was 26 years old, sharp-minded, and full of energy. He had a quiet kind of charisma, the type that made people feel at ease the moment he walked into a room. He was raised in the vibrant, music-filled streets of New Orleans, Louisiana, a city where culture ran as deep as the Mississippi River, and where community meant everything. Marcus grew up surrounded by a deeply connected family. His parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles were always present, always cheering him on. Whether it was a backyard cookout on a Sunday afternoon or a big family gathering during the holidays, those moments shaped who Marcus became. He learned early that the people around you are your greatest strength, and when Marcus turned 19, something shifted. He made a decision that changed the direction of his entire life. He packed his bags, said goodbye to everyone he loved, and headed west, all the way to the University of Texas at Austin. It felt like stepping onto a different planet. The campus was enormous. The classrooms were full of strangers. But Marcus carried his roots with him like armor. Your roots don't hold you back. They hold you steady. At university, Marcus pursued a degree in communications. He was fascinated by how language, the right words, spoken the right way, could move people, persuade them, even change their minds. Class after class, he threw himself into the material, joining debate clubs, attending public speaking workshops, and filling notebooks with ideas. College wasn't always smooth. There were late nights, difficult exams, and moments when Marcus seriously wondered if he belonged there at all. But here's what kept him going. He reminded himself every single day that growth feels uncomfortable. And that discomfort is not a dead end. It's a doorway. Can you relate to that feeling? Have you ever pushed through something hard and realized, on the other side, that it made you stronger? After 4 years of late nights and early mornings, Marcus graduated with honors. He stepped off that stage with his diploma in hand and a head full of plans. His first real job was a content strategy position at a media company in Houston. The early days were intense. Marcus was the newest person on the team, and the learning curve was steep. He had to earn trust before he earned responsibility. But Marcus never complained. He listened carefully, asked thoughtful questions, and made himself genuinely useful, not just to his managers, but to his colleagues. Month by month, his role expanded. He started contributing original ideas in team meetings. His suggestions were thoughtful, backed by data, and more often than not, they worked. Within a year and a half, Marcus had gone from the newest hire to one of the most valued voices in the room. Show up fully, even before the world shows up for you. Now Marcus didn't only pour himself into his career. He understood that a full life needs balance, and that the best version of yourself includes your passions, not just your profession. Outside of work, Marcus had two things that truly lit him up. The first was music, specifically playing guitar. He had started playing as a teenager, sitting on his grandmother's porch on warm evenings, picking out melodies until the fireflies appeared. Music was his way of processing the world. When words weren't enough, when Marcus needed to slow down and breathe, the guitar was always there. His second passion was community volunteering. Every other weekend, Marcus gave his time to a local literacy program, helping adults learn to read and write. He believed that language, the gift of being understood, was something every person deserved. And there he was, lesson by lesson, helping make that happen. Looking ahead, Marcus had a clear vision for his future. He wanted to develop his skills even further in the field of communications. And one day, he dreamed of launching his own content platform, a place where people could learn, grow, and feel seen. He wasn't in a rush, but he was absolutely moving forward. He knew that big ambitions don't happen overnight. They happen through consistency, through small wins stacked on top of each other, through choosing to try again after a setback. And Marcus? He was built for that kind of journey. Now here's something important, and I want you to really hear this. Marcus's story isn't just a story. It's a template, a map, a way of showing you how to introduce yourself in English in a way that feels natural, warm, and memorable. Now let's look at the vocabulary and expressions you heard in Marcus's story, because learning these words will make your own English much stronger. First, charisma. This word describes a natural charm or magnetic quality that draws people to you. For example, Marcus had the kind of charisma that made everyone feel welcome. Second, vibrant. Something vibrant is full of life, energy, and excitement. For example, he grew up in a vibrant city with a rich cultural history. Third, pursue. To pursue something means to actively work toward it or follow it as a goal. For example, Marcus decided to pursue a degree in communications. Fourth, discomfort. This is the feeling of being uneasy or slightly troubled. For example, he learned that discomfort is part of growth. Fifth, consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly and reliably over time. For example, Marcus knew that consistency was the key to achieving his dreams. Sixth, literacy. This refers to the ability to read and write. For example, Marcus volunteered at a program dedicated to adult literacy. Seventh, ambitious. Someone who is ambitious has a powerful desire to succeed. For example, Marcus was ambitious, but he was also patient and grounded. Now it's your turn to practice. I'll say each sentence once, and then I want you to repeat it out loud, confidently, clearly, and at your own pace. Ready? Let's go. Marcus was 26 years old, sharp-minded, and full of energy. He was raised in the vibrant, music-filled streets of New Orleans. Marcus pursued a degree in communications at university. He made himself genuinely useful to his colleagues and managers. Outside of work, Marcus loved playing guitar and volunteering in his community. He believed that big ambitions are built through consistency and small wins. Marcus dreamed of launching his own content platform one day. Excellent work. Now, let's hear the full story. One more time from beginning to end, so you can absorb the language naturally and feel how all the pieces connect. Marcus was 26 years old, sharp-minded and full of energy. He had a quiet kind of charisma, the type that made people feel at ease the moment he walked into a room. He was raised in the vibrant, music-filled streets of New Orleans, Louisiana, a city where culture ran as deep as the Mississippi River and where community meant everything. Marcus grew up surrounded by a deeply connected family. His parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles were always present, always cheering him on. He learned early that the people around you are your greatest strength. When Marcus turned 19, he packed his bags and headed west to the University of Texas at Austin. He pursued a degree in communications and threw himself into every opportunity to grow. After graduating with honors, he landed a content strategy role at a media company in Houston. He worked hard, listened carefully, and earned his place on the team. Outside of work, Marcus played guitar and volunteered in a community literacy program. He believed that language, the gift of being understood, was something every person deserved. Looking ahead, Marcus had one big dream: to launch his own content platform. He knew the road would take time, but he was patient, consistent, and absolutely moving forward. You just completed a full English lesson on introducing yourself, and you did it beautifully. Every word you practice today brings you one step closer to speaking English with real confidence. If this lesson helped you, please give it a like and share it with someone who's working on their English. Here on English Unleashed Lab, we make these lessons for you week after week because your progress matters to us. Keep going. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself. And we'll see you in the very next lesson, fam. We can't wait.